Hey guys, we all know that this year has been absolutely crazy. With COVID going on and so many businesses closing their doors, it's really made me think about where I'm at in my life. I first created a life plan during a class in college, and I've continually looked back on it over the years. Now I know you may be asking yourself, what exactly is a life plan? Well, it's the big picture. It comes down to having a vision and an understanding of where you are, where you're going, and what exactly you want your life to be. It's really like it's like a roadmap. It's like a series of steps and goals that you're going to lay out and take in order for you to achieve that end result. Most, if not all, organizations start out with their own vision statement, and a vision statement is just their ultimate goal, their ultimate vision of what they want to achieve as an organization and how they want to represent themselves and have a culture. Our personal life plans are exactly the same way. It's all about having that idea of what you want most in life and then designing those steps for you to take in order to achieve it. One of the best books I have read about designing your life is by Stephen Covey, and it's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Stephen does an excellent job of describing not only how, but why it's so crucial for you to do this. He focuses on clearly 7 different habits, but the second habit is beginning with the end in mind. It's basically about starting on your life path with an idea of what your dream or your vision is at the end of it. So when you die, you want to be able to look back and see what you've accomplished and that you've accomplished everything that you wanted to. It's basically mapping out the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years before you ever get there. Creating a life plan helps you take those dreams and what really matters most to you and makes it a reality. But before you can map it all out though, you have to really have an understanding of what truly is important to you and what you want to achieve with your life. I encourage you to take some time and really concentrate on finding out what your values are, what your dream is that you could accomplish, whatever it might be, and really narrow down what you want to focus on and what you want to make important in your life. This all can seem really daunting, trying to map out what you want your future to be in 20 or 50 years. But the good thing is you don't have to know everything right now, and you can even break it down into different areas that you want to focus on. And then you can maybe even just start with one area and build on from that, and just keep adding and adjusting and changing until you have what you ultimately want. For example, some of the areas that I focus on in my life plan right now are family, friends, and relationships, my health and well-being, having financial independence and continually learning, just enjoying life, making time to have fun and enjoy the memories, and giving back. Right now, I'm not married, I don't have any kids, so I just want to focus all of my energy on being a good aunt, being a good daughter, and being a good sister, because those are the relationships that are really important to me with my family, as well as my close friends. Another aspect that I really focus on is my health. It's an area that I'm working on right now. I've really struggled with maintaining my weight since I left the military and went back to college and started working a desk job. It's really impacted my health and my fitness area. So that is a huge priority for me to work on losing that weight and getting back to what was the best shape of my life. I also love to learn. I love to read, so I always want to make sure that I'm having time to read new books and understand different technologies and advances and studies, and just reading and learning and continuing to grow. I also love to travel. So for me, I would love to be able to do 1 or 2 trips a year for the rest of my life to different places for a couple weeks. That would be one of my ultimate goals. I've been to just over 15 countries now, and I love going and exploring national parks and the culture of all these different places. So for me, I know that way past retirement, this is going to be one of those things that is on my life plan forever. And service, giving back to the community and those that I care about. And this is something that I want to be a pillar of who I am. I've served in the military, and now I'm trying to serve my community in the best ways that I can, even with COVID going on. So I definitely want to have that as a part of who I am going into the future, even though what exactly that is might change. That is something that hopefully will be there until I die. Now, those are some of the areas that are important to me. You might have different priorities, like being the best mother or father that you can possibly be, or being your own boss, or visiting every amusement park that you possibly can. It really comes down to who you are and what you want your life to be focused on. When you look back on your life, when you're 60, 70, 80, what do you think is really going to matter to you? What is really important to you? I would recommend just sitting down alone and writing about yourself and what you want. It doesn't have to be pretty or extravagant, it just has to be authentically you. What inspires you? What motivates you? What drives you? What your values are? It might be good to start with just 1 or 2 goals or ideas or steps for each one of your areas, or even just one area at a time. You can always add more later, but at first, this can be a huge project to start. This is where setting specific goals comes into play. It's how you take that vision or that dream and you make it a reality. You break it down step by step, goal by goal, baby step by baby step until you reach that end game. And don't worry, I'll make a whole nother video and a post about how to set goals and what that looks like. I'll post it down below. Feel free to take a look at it. So after you take that time alone and you really dive into self-reflection and who you are and where you want to be, you have those thoughts and those ideas and those goals written out, you can bring it all together and put it on a timeline. And this really helps you visualize what you're working on, what your years look like, even what your months look like. You can just start with today, the present, and just add blobs in. If you know what they are, if you know a specific time frame already, just plop them on there and go all the way until the end of your life. When I first created my own timeline, one of my big milestones that I was working on was buying my own home. At that time, I didn't know exactly when that was going to happen. The market has just been absolutely crazy, and I knew that I had a time frame of 2 to 3 years of when I was trying to hit that mark. Since I've actually just recently purchased my own home, I can go ahead and update that timeline and let it reflect 2020 as the year that I bought my first house. Another example is, say you have a financial goal that you want to achieve. Like, say you want to have $100,000 net worth by the age of 30 or 45 or whatever that might be. You can specifically add that on to your timeline. It really helps if you have a specific time frame that you're looking at. Say you want to save 10% of your income for the next 10 years. You can go boom, 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 mark it down every single year that you know that's your goal. You can break it down by month. You can break it down by week. It just kind of depends on how in-depth you want to take it. I think the good thing to remember with this is it's not going to happen overnight. Those long-term goals, dreams that you have, they're not going to happen today or tomorrow. Typically what you're looking for is something that is the end game as far as that vision. The great thing about your life plan, it's very fluid and flexible. You honestly should be going in and revising and updating it with every new chapter that you start in your life. Life has this amazing way of throwing you curveballs at the absolute worst timing, so don't worry about it if you can't hit that specific target that you were aiming for. You have the ability to adjust course and change time frames as life keeps rolling along. It's actually really good to go back and reevaluate this life plan, your vision, your timeline every single year to make sure that you're staying on course for what you want and those changes are reflected. One thing that has really helped me is being able to visualize my goals and my dreams. I actually use a vision board for that. I have it posted up in my office. It's a place where I can see it almost every single day and I can get that daily reminder of what I'm doing. It really reminds me that those day-to-day habits and goals that I'm implementing are putting me on the path of where I want to be with my life. When people come over and they see it, that helps me. Having someone else know that I have a specific goal or a series of goals really helps me keep accountable to that timeline that I've set. And having that vision board also helps remind me that when everything hits the fan and there's just chaos and I'm stressed and I'm just flustered, I already know that I've sat down and I've planned it out, and I have that idea of where I'm headed. And if I need to, I can go back and reevaluate depending on how things change, but I always have that step that I've already taken to kind of plan my life out. So if you feel comfortable, take some time, write out your goals, write out your dreams, set up your life plan, a vision board, whatever you're comfortable with. Share it with your friend, your family, your mom, and I'll see you in the next video.